What's going on, guys? I'm Simple Simon and welcome to the NOOB Rebirth. Now on today's episode I'm going to be talking about comic book grails. That's right, we all have those books that we just have to have in our collection. Now being a noob, I've only been into collecting for less than 2 years still. I've noticed a lot of people in the comic book collecting community talking about their grails. At first I sort of thought, your comic book grail is just the one book you have to have in your collection, right? But turns out people have many grails. They've got comic book grails that they want. So a bunch of books that they want to have in their collection, which is weird to me. I feel like a comic book grail should just be that one book that you have to have. So it got me thinking, what would be the one book I have to have in my collection? Well, I recently realized what that book was and I recently acquired it. So at the end of this video, I will be showing you an unboxing of that book. And just a spoiler alert now, it does not end well. But before I show you that book, I will be showing you just a couple of the other books I have in my collection which were very sought after for me when I first started collecting, which are mostly first appearance books. Now, if you are new to my channel, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all my latest content, and check out my back catalogue. I've got a whole bunch of stuff going on back there. And if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like. This is Comic Book Grails. Let's do this. Alright, so this first book I'm going to show you is basically a first appearance of the first character that I had a fascination about. So my origin story, I guess, when it comes to comic books is I had no clue just going back 2-3 years ago, and I basically went on a bunch of dates with this girl who was really into comic books. She used to call herself a DC girl, so kind of got me fascinated. I started to find interest in comic books. Now, the last time I saw this girl, she was cosplaying as Raven. And to me, I was just like, I need to know about this Raven character. So Raven was like the first character that I really became fascinated with. And you know me, I like goth babes. That's my thing. I like goth alternative sort of girls. I like my goth babes. So the first book I'm going to show you is the first appearance of Raven, which is along with Cyborg, Starfire. It's actually the first appearance of the New Teen Titans, and that is DC Presents issue 26. I really wanted this book. For me, I want to collect all the first appearances of some of my favorite characters. Now, some of them are just not attainable. I ain't gonna get the first appearance of many characters because they're so old. Golden Age books, if it's a first appearance back then, chances are, unless you're rich, you probably will never own those books, which is sad, but I'm very happy that I got this book. I paid $90 Australian for this, which to be honest is actually a good price. I looked it up just before, and I think the cheapest I can get it for was from the US for about $130, I think was the cheapest I saw it for, and plus $50 postage on top of that. Yeah, I feel like I got a deal on this, so yeah, I'm very happy that I got this book. And next one is another character that I really enjoyed when I first discovered her, and I think there's a really cool story behind this first appearance, and that is Gwenpool, whose first appearance happened to be on Deadpool's Secret Wars. It's a variant cover. Now the cool thing about this first appearance is she's not in this story. Her first story appearance was actually Howard the Duck issue 1, but her first ever appearance was actually this cover, this variant cover, which I find really cool. It seems unusual to just make someone's debut a cover when they've never been in the story at all. I find that really fascinating, and I think that's really cool, and I'm really happy that I picked this book up. I paid $50 for this book. Again, I haven't really looked up. Let me just check it out now. Alright, so the cheapest I can see it on eBay right now is someone selling it in the UK for about $71. So not bad. Apart, like besides that, you're looking at over $100 it seems. And again, plus postage to Australia, like you're paying a lot of money for this book. So $50 was a pretty good deal. I got this locally too, so I actually paid Jack for the postage, which is a good thing. It's funny because if you actually look up her first story appearance, which is Howard the Duck, you can pick that up for peanuts. I picked that up in the back issues bin for I think $6, $8 or something like that. That's Gwenpool's first appearance, which happens to be on a cover of Deadpool's Secret Wars, and as you can see, it's got Gwenpool written over Deadpool there. So very cool, very happy I've got this book. Now, a long time ago, I did a video on the New 50 Noob where I did my top 5 favorite female characters. Both Raven and Gwenpool were on that list. I believe Raven took out number 2 spot, I believe. Speaking of goth girls. And there was a real toss up between her and this character, I think. And again, as I mentioned before, You know me, I like my cheeks gothic. This is the first appearance of Death from the Sandman universe. This is Sandman issue 8. Is it? Issue 8? Issue 8, huh? Now here's the craziest thing about me, right? I've not read Sandman at all. The reason that I like Death is because I read a couple of her own solo stories, which was The High Cost of Living and The Time of Your Life, I think the other one was called. And I really enjoyed the character from those two stories, so I just had to have the first appearance of Death. I paid, I think, $60 for this. Let me check. I paid $60 for this, again, which is a pretty good deal. I mean, if I look this up now, wow, there's really not many of these going around. I got this locally, so again, I paid nothing on, or barely anything on postage. And at the moment, there's only one going on eBay that I can see so far. Also local to me, so it's only $6 postage. It's gone for 160 bucks. Good luck selling that, mate. So here we go, $215. Plus $123 postage from the US. $214 for the comic, $123 postage from the US. That's what it's like to buy comics from Australia. I'm very happy that I've got this book, The First Appearance of Death. This is a more recent character that I got into later on in life, about a year or so after I got into comic books. I'm a bit of a fan of Mera, and again, it's because I was seeing this girl who's really into Mera. So I've had this bit of an obsession with Mera now, and I want to get her first appearance. Now, I got the sweetest deal on this book, right? This is the first appearance of Mera, Aquaman issue 11. This might be one of the oldest books that I have. I'm not sure on that, but it's definitely one of the oldest books I have, if not the oldest. It is the first appearance of Mera. Now, the condition is absolute dog crap. It's got like, it looks like tape stuck to the spine there. It's really banged up, but the more important part is Mera is still looking good. Am I pointing at her? Mera is still looking good. So yeah, I'm really happy I got this book now. Let me just tell you what I paid on this, right? I gotta look it up. It was on auction on eBay. And let's see, I put my maximum bid, which wasn't that much because it was in pounds. I got this from the UK. I remember thinking I'm not gonna get this book, but because it was so low grade, no one else bid on it. And the next morning I woke up and I paid way less than what I actually bid on it. So the books I've shown you, paid $90 for the first Raven, $50 for the first Gwenpool, $60 for the first Death. I paid $28 for this book. Postage, I'm pretty sure it came from the UK from memory. Postage on this was maybe another $20 to $30 maybe. So I paid less for this book than any of the other ones that I just showed you. It's such a good score for the price I got it. I don't care that it's low grade, I just wanted to have it in my collection. It's not an easy book to find either, so yeah, really stoked about that. So I guess some of the other grails that I would like to have one day in my collection, probably things like, you know, Batman Adventures issue 12, the first appearance of Harley Quinn. I would love to have that book one day, but locally I haven't seen it for less than $300-400, and you know, I can buy so many other books for that kind of money. So hopefully one day I'm just either loaded or I get a really sweet deal on it. That is definitely a grail of mine. And look, I'd love to get some of those Golden Age first appearances too, but I'm not gonna hold out on those dreams. Anyway, I'm gonna cross over to me unboxing my grail that I picked up recently. I filmed this quite a number of, maybe a month or two ago when I got the book. I don't actually know why it took me so long to film the rest of this. So we're gonna go back to the past where my hair was a lot crappier. All right, let's have a look what's in here. It's from the UK. This package took over a month to get to me. And when it got here, it says do not bend, but the postie was nice enough to just shove it in my mailbox, and it's a little bit bent out of shape, so I'm not very happy with that. The cardboard's clearly bent, so good work, postie, you douchebag. This is a grail that I figured that I should probably have in my collection, considering I'm me, and if you have been watching my channel for a little bit, you'll know that I like this character. So, Stanley knife, boom, Stanley knife. All right, carefully cut into this, boom, yeah. Oh man, is it? That pisses me off. Do not bend. Does that look bent to you? Yeah, the book's fucking bent. Woosa. Alright, let's have a look. Yes, there it is. The book seems okay, I guess. Oh. It's a little bit warped, but I guess once I put it in the book... Nah, man, that's fucked. Yeah, no. That pisses me off real bad. Well, I'm glad this video is going to end on a high note, but this is the Grail that I picked up. Red Hood's first appearance. I don't know if you can see it, but right up the top here, there it's pretty bent, and that's definitely from the douchebag postie shoving it in the letterbox. How hard is it to not bend something? A lot of the times the posties actually leave it at my doorstep, which I much prefer. And even my mailbox, it's like a lid. I leave it unlocked so people can just lift the lid and pop it in there. This guy just jammed it through the hole, and it's just like, you could... Anyway, let's not get worked up over it. I have this book finally. A funny story behind this is I put a bid on it on eBay, and on the night, I made my maximum bid and I was winning straight after my bid. 4 minutes later, it was like, you've been outbid. I was like, oh, okay, this guy really wants the book. I can't afford this right now. So you know what? I'll make one more bid just to make this guy pay a little bit extra. So I bet a couple dollars more, which I really couldn't afford at the time. I couldn't really afford my first bid, to be honest. And then in the morning I woke up and it's like, you've won. I was like, oh, great, I've won. But I can't complain. You know what? I am going to complain. You know why? Because if I didn't win this book, I'd probably eventually own this book one day anyway, and maybe I wouldn't have got a douchebag postie. Yeah, it's definitely creased in that top corner. Thanks a lot. That is my Grail that I picked up, and I'm glad I got it, but yeah, cool. Have you ever seen a guy so happy to get the book he always wanted? I don't think you have. Red Hood's my favorite character, so I felt like I had to have this book one day, and I guess it was fate that I received one that was all banged up on the corner. That's all from me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please again, subscribe to my channel, check out my back catalogue, check me out on social media at the New 50 Noob on Instagram, and let me know in the comments some of your Grails, or maybe some of the Grails that you would like to have one day. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm Simple Simon. Thank you for watching. Keep it simple.